Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I'm doing part 2 using the Aether Beauty Joshua Tree palette. If you haven't watched part 1, I will leave that down below. It didn't go as well as I had hoped. Well, so the two colours I really wanted to play with these two, the Agave and Wildflower. So I went for the Agave in that video. I'd already played with it once before and struggled with it, but I tried again and I tried it with some neutral shades to see how it would work blending wise, and I found it just didn't blend particularly well. It's great for a packing colour or deepening up the outer portion because it's a really beautiful pigmented colour, but when it came to the actual blending process I had a real hard time. And a lot of you did say that these kind of colours can be quite tricky to blend out, but also a few people did say they've seen a number of people use this palette who've actually a few of you guys said you've had this palette and struggled with it as well, and you also enjoyed the previous palette. So yeah, it's kind of sad because this was a really exciting palette, you know, something a bit more colourful. Like I said, I'd always said the mattes from Aether Beauty were so beautiful and blendable, but I don't know, that this colour just had a real hard time with, and the neutrals work well, but like I said in the previous video, I've got the Solstice palette which has the nice neutrals in, the Rose Quartz has the nice neutrals in, and even the Amethyst palette has neutrals in. So I didn't want this palette just for the neutral side, if that makes sense. So I want some of these others to work. So for today's video I'm trying again, and I'm going to use the other colour that I really wanted to play with, which was Wildflower. I think I'm going to do something kind of bright with these colours in the middle here and see how it goes. Okay, so eyes are already prepped and primed. So I'm going to kick off with the Wildflower. Starting with the Wildflower colour, I'm just going to dip in with a flat brush. I'm going to start packing onto the lid. Now the reason I was intrigued by the Wildflower colour is because it's one that I don't really have in my collection, the shade. It's quite a unique shade, I think. So that's why we wanted to play with it. So I'm getting a little bit of fallout, but I will clear that up in a second. I'm just going to pat this onto the lid to begin with. Oh. Okay, I don't know if that's the shadow or the fact maybe my primer wasn't rubbed in properly. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt and take this off and apply the primer again and make sure it's blended out, because that's not good. Okay, so let's try again. Like I said, it might just because my primer I needed to blend it out. It was kind of stuck in my crease. Right. So it's completely blended in now. Let's see what happens. Okay, I think it was because the primer wasn't blended out properly. I got a little bit worried then. So I'm just packing this onto my lid. Let's go in with a blending brush. Take one like this, no product added. I'm just going to see what this is like to kind of buff. Yeah, that's already nicer than the other green for sure. Actually, what someone also did comment when they had the palette is they found it kind of, you could over blend and almost blend, once you put another shade on top, blend it away. So it would be interesting to see what happens with that. So, okay, next I'm going to dip into Prickly Pear, which again is a very beautiful kind of unique shade, almost like a purple toned pink, I'd call it, which is nice. Let's see if these colours will work well together. So this is going to go through the crease. And what I'm going to do is take, I know it looks a little bit crazy right now, is then take some of Pixie Rock and on a really fluffy brush, because I have brought that shade quite high up. So it's going to help blend the shade out without bringing it any higher up and without adding too much of a new colour to it. It's going to help soften. Okay, I'm going to pick up some more prickly pear because I do feel I've lost some of that. On the fluffy brush though this time, and just go back over what I've just done. Okay, I can already tell you that's blending much better than the green colours do. I think actually the colours in here maybe don't quite work as well together as you may think they do. In the palette you think, oh, I can pair some of these really nicely together. But I feel like some of these combinations aren't quite working as well as maybe I would thought they would. But no, this is definitely a much better blend. They're very two unique colours like I said, but I think they look quite cool. Okay, for the lower lash line now, because I want to play with most of these colours. Obviously I haven't really played with these two. Oh no, I did play with that one. I haven't really played with this one as such, but I've got a colour like that in the other palette, so I know it should be alright, but I kind of want to see what these two are like. So I'm going to start off with the orange shade first, which is called Ember Glow. I'm going to run that along the lower lash line. Ooh, that's nice. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, I'm just walking back. I'm guessing you're at home?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fab.
I am.
I have no idea what to wear. Will you help me?
Of course. I'm just filming a video, but I can help.
Okay, well.
He's good. He's just currently napping on my bed right now.
Oh, what a boy.
Okay, so I absolutely love the orange. The orange is beautiful. It'd be interesting to see what happens when I add that yellowy shade to it. Because I think that's the thing with this palette. The colours by themselves, like the colourful colours in this palette, by themselves are actually beautiful. It's the minute you start adding a different colour, or with that green trying to blend out. I mean, the purple blended out I think really well, and that prickly pear did and stuff. But I mean, like a standalone colour, they look beautiful, but I just don't know if the colour combinations, or once you add another colour, they quite work, if that makes sense. And you think they would do, because the palette, when I saw it, I was like, I can see loads of cohesive makeup, eyeshadow looks in there. But actually, maybe when you start playing with them, they're not quite as cohesive as maybe I thought. But I'm going to try now Citrine. I'm going to try on a fluffy brush, actually, not a pencil brush. And I'm going to go ahead and just buff. Okay, so those two colours definitely work well together. Shove some mascara on and then I can come back with my final thoughts. Mascara's on. So for this look, I wanted to try more of the kind of brighter, fun colours in the palette. I just say blending wise, it was much easier. I do understand, I can see the thing where it does take some of the previous eyeshadow, instead of like blending into it, it almost takes off the eyeshadow you just popped down. The orange and yellow I think are really great. That blended really nicely together. I actually really love this colour combination. And actually I like the orange with the purple. Like I said, the purple and the pink were kind of a bit more unique tones, which I was really excited to play with. It definitely worked out much better this time round. I'm still not wowed by this palette, I have to say. I think the standout shade for me is actually the orange, the Ember Glow, and Citrine. Just only because, like I said, I've got these colours in the other palettes and I know they work beautifully, and then this colour was the other one I was really excited about, and if you saw my previous one, it just didn't quite work. So I'm glad I tried it again and play with the slightly more fun colours or vivid colours, because it definitely shows that there is a potential with this palette. But I think, like I said, standalone the colours are beautiful. I think it's when you start trying to mix some of the other colours, it's not as cohesive as you may think. That is my thoughts. Let me know what yours are down below. If you are thinking of I still would recommend Aether Beauty, but I'd definitely try one of the other palettes for sure. Or even the highlighters are beautiful. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you in my next video.